Microchips in your brain for controlling devices via telepathy is not science fiction anymore. It's Wednesday, January 31st, 2024, and this is episode 96 of Yay Space, the Tech Review. This is the place where you get the most important news from innovation, technology, and social media. I'm Tarek Madadi Mamluk, and virtually by my side is my Chief Telepathy Officer, Vincent Irmler. How are you today, Vincent?
I'm great, thank you. I just got a promotion, obviously. Chief telepathy, you know what I mean. Yeah, telepathy officer. It's a great title. No, actually, I'm excited. I'm great. I'm really excited to be here because of the crazy news that we just got today. I mean, it was a funny coincidence. We wanted to talk about something else, but this obviously can't wait.
It's breaking news, and believe it or not, but I actually practiced the word telepathy before this episode because it sounds so great, and it is the name of the latest product from the Elon Musk universe, telepathy, and we are actually talking about telepathy. I love it so much. Really, this is one of the most exciting things that I love about this podcast, that we are talking about microchips in your brain and intelligent robots and telepathy and space colonization, Mars colonization, all of these things, and it's so amazing to be alive today.
Absolutely, it's extremely exciting. To see what's happening currently with Elon Musk and Neuralink. I would love to hear from you. I think for everyone it would be interesting if we could give a short rundown of what's happening today. But before that, completely considering it all, I would just like to know, Tarek, would you install such a device in your head?
That is such a good question. I want to, but I would hate to start doing like unnecessary brain surgery if it's not medically needed. So if I have like serious medical problems that could be solved by brain surgery, I would do it immediately. But with a healthy brain, I'm not sure if I actually want to go through brain surgery for, I don't know, controlling my smartphone via brain waves. All right, but before we go into too much details, let's take a look at what we are talking about today.
And now, this.
So the BBC is reporting about the first Neuralink implant in a human brain, and this is what you need to know. Elon Musk's Neuralink has reportedly implanted a wireless brain chip in human, showing promising results in brain activity with the patient recovering well. Neuralink's objective is to connect human brains to computers, potentially aiding in treating complex neurological conditions. The technology is still in experimental stages, with other companies also achieving similar advancements in brain-computer interface technology. But despite the potential of Neuralink's technology, there is a lack of independent verification of Musk's claim and concerns regarding past animal testing practices at Neuralink. And so on the one hand, this news is dominating everything right now, and that's why we jumped onto this train to talk about Neuralink today.
We had to.
But of course, it is a lot of marketing, and everything was triggered by Elon Musk announcing that they have successfully implemented the first surgical insertion of a Neuralink implant into a human brain, which is big news, but it is not really unique. There are other brain implants already existing where humans got those and actually lived. But still, it's Elon Musk, and so it's, of course, newsworthy.
I think it's a bit different to what we've seen before. I mean, there are many I think there are a lot of companies out there looking at this, specifically startup. I think this kind of combination is something that I think a lot of people are looking at because it's a very exciting place. And also I think it's part of the sci-fi universe that we always think of. I mean, it doesn't have to be as crazy as this Netflix series Altered Carbon or anything like that. But there are a lot of startups out there looking at this. But I think the special thing about Musk's startup Neuralink is that, or company Neuralink, is that they specifically aim for a control of the mobile device. And I think that's really interesting. Obviously, the aim is higher. They want to, I think they say on their website, the first patients are going to be the ones that are currently paralyzed in some way. And I think when you look at the website, also the patients or the recruitment for patients basically is people who can't use their legs and arms. Not either, but they can't. It's important that they can't use any of those. And so I think that, therefore, their aim is really high. And the design of the product is very interesting. Specifically, I checked again on their website earlier today. I checked and typed, do you know how to charge? Because this has to be charged. Do you know that this device has to be charged? Question number one.
Yes.
Do you know that? Do you know how it is going to be charged?
Yes, I don't have technical details, but I also read about that. And this is, of course, very important that you don't have a plug in your head to charge the batteries. And this is, it's not really new technology because we already have something like wireless charging on our phones. And in this case, this is exactly how the device is charged by a wireless charging device. Even though I'm not sure, I did not read how often you have to charge this, if this is
It's
something
unclear.
that you have to do.
No, it's undisclosed. I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not produced in series yet, and so of course it's not that important. But
Right.
you just mentioned very, very interestingly these two cases that we have, right? The one is the medical necessity, where people who have damages in their brain or body, for example, they can't move their limbs, might be able to use this microchip in the future to control their limbs and start doing things that they are not able to do today. This is a big medical breakthrough, or could be a big medical breakthrough. And the other aspect that is quite interesting is where Elon Musk was announcing that you can use this microchip for controlling your mobile device, for example. And this is, of course, something that's not a medical necessity, but it's very interesting, especially for people who, I mean, it's again the same use case, people who are not able to use a keyboard, for example, to use a computer with their brains. But in the long run, if you assume that at a certain point of time, let's say babies get these brain implants and they grow up with this, it might create a completely new way of controlling your environment. You can, let's brainstorm a little bit, unlock your car with your brain, for example.
Definitely.
Like
Unlock your phone.
right?
No Face ID, no
yeah.
Touch ID, anything. Yeah, you can. I mean, this would be a really basic case, but you're right. You could. Yeah. Or,
Yeah.
I mean, think about security detail. Think about people who are working at an extremely undisclosed environment. Something like, I don't know, top agents, top politicians, military, science, these kind of people. I mean, I don't know, Apple design staff, these kind of people who work in the highest confined space. I mean, now what you could do, obviously, you could put these things inside your brain to unlock these doors. And I mean, this is just the beginning. Basically, I mean, so the device works in a way that you envision what you want to do, and then the brain waves that are connected to this device will let it know. So in the intro, I think we already spoke about this briefly, the intro of this new device, they show how you can envision the cursor to go up and down. And this is also how you will envision to move your arms and legs, and this is how you're going to be able to move. So a lot happens with imagining this. So now, obviously, a lot of things you can imagine can happen, right? So a lot of in-between interfaces probably in the end will be not relevant anymore. I'm thinking about, say you want to go to a website, right? Say you want to go to YouTube or Wikipedia or whatever. I mean, now, currently, what we have done is we translated the cognitive desire of going to YouTube over to our fingers, then to our typeface, whatever it is, and then later, and then we type, and then on the other hand, there's a computer which its own interface, which will show you, I don't know, a keyboard, because this is the way you can input into the keyboard. And now all of these things will go away. So if someone, like, say, a child grows up with this and it thinks, I want to see the new video of whatever, right? And this is connected well to the YouTube app or computer or whatever, it will just open up the video. It will just open up the video or the search or whatever, because all of those interface translation steps that are not necessary anymore, they're going to go away.
Yeah, yeah.
It's crazy.
And I mean, this is super interesting because it's not really a complex thing where you have to think about several steps of doing something. We already have this with chatbots, for example. Your input is text, and the AI is deducting your intent. And I could imagine that interface chip like this would work in a similar way. It picks up your brain patterns and it identifies a certain intent, for example, opening a web browser or something, and then it can do the necessary steps on your device to actually do this. Not by thinking, move the mouse to the left, move the mouse to the right, do a double click or something, but actually the intent, and then it executes a macro for whatever you need. So there will be probably a lot of mixture between AI and implementation and, of course, this neurological interface. But before we go more into the cyberpunk era, because I also have so many ideas of what we are going to see with this technology in the next years, I wanted to mention another company that was doing a similar research that right now basically nobody is talking about, which is the EPFL in Switzerland. And this is only half a year ago. It was in May 2023. And they enabled a paralyzed man to walk using his brain and spine implants. So they already had something like this, like a brain implant and implants in the legs, where someone who was not able to walk was able to walk again. So we already have seen this. It's not a completely new thing, but the BBC is writing it's a very, very small club, a very small club of companies who successfully implanted these devices and see actual process on human beings. Yeah, and so on the one hand, kudos to Elon Musk for this probable success in implementing this on a human being, but it is not the first implant that we have seen. And I think the first implants were already 20 years ago, even though they were not as powerful as we see these devices today. And one question that I have to you, Vincent, is about the ethics behind this research, because I was already mentioning this in the summary of this article. There are concerns regarding animal testing at Neuralink, because we are celebrating right now that it works on a human, but to go to this place, to reach this achievement, the article says there were approximately the death of approximately 1,500 animals, including sheep and monkeys and pigs. And if you tell this to someone, it sounds very, very gruesome. But the reality of drug testing or new technologies is that things are tested on animals before they are tested on humans because of obvious reasons. What do you think about this?
I mean, it's difficult, and I think first of all you have to say that obviously no animal and also no human should be harmed in the process of research. I'm thinking that so Neuralink started out with pigs, and then they went over to apes at some point, and then apparently also sheeps. I only knew about pigs and monkeys. And most of the things they did with them were quite basic in terms of not really difficult for the animals to perform. But I think a lot of animals will suffer in surgery, I would argue. I know that the classic test, I think Neuralink went viral a couple of years ago with this. I don't know, it was a pig or it was a monkey playing a video game. I think we all saw that.
Yeah.
And
it was a monkey. Yeah,
it's a monkey, right? And so I think this is the kind of stuff they did with them. But obviously, to do this with them, they had to implement those things, and I think this is where a lot of those animals died. Well, this is a difficult one to answer. I think in the end, I think there's no other way currently, no better way to test this with AI. Hopefully soon there's going to be a better way. because AI will help us with that. But I think that up until this point, this is the best they were able to do as far as I understand the matter. And I think, therefore, unfortunately but necessary is maybe the term we have to use here.
Yeah, yeah. And ethically, there is another aspect, and now we are entering the cyberpunk
Please
discussion.
bring it on, Tarek. Cyberpunk only from now on.
Because so far, everything that we are discussing is a one-directional flow of information. The brain is controlling the microchip, and the microchip is controlling my legs or my phone or whatever, my TV. But in theory, one could imagine that in the future it will be bidirectional. So there will also be information sending back signals into my brain. If I just think about my phone, if I get like a call or a message or something, it might be something where I can then feel like something is happening on my phone without hearing it or without feeling the vibration. For example, it's just like one simple use case.
Yeah.
But also like other things where I can read the news, for example, by thinking about, I don't know, the New York Times, and then the microchip is connecting to my phone is opening the New York Times, and I can download this article into my brain. I don't know how this will work, if I can access the information directly or if I hear a voice in my head reading the news.
Tarek, I think
know.
it's very clear. I think you have an SSD in your head. Depending on the price you pay, it's 128 gigs or 256. And every once in a time you have to update it.
I mean, we have seen The Matrix as a movie, right? I love it to see like predictions for the future from movies. But in The Matrix, they have this plug at the back of their head. They can literally download information where they say, I need to learn how to operate a helicopter. And then they download the operation manual to the helicopter within seconds. And then this person knows how to operate a helicopter. Obviously, the brain does not work as simple as a hard disk where you can download something and then you know how to use it. But we are in the beginning of this new technology. And so the question would be, is this microchip able in the future to actually teach something to the brain? I don't know how.
I mean, now, just as you said, we're entering this cyberpunk part of the discussion, and I think it's specifically interesting that Elon Musk came now with this product. I mean, we did know that they are working on this, and this is an Elon Musk company. But I think that Elon Musk has XAI, right? This AI that you can currently test with X Premium Plus, which I'm too cheap to have, but I really would like to test it, but that's a different thing. And I think this currently it's very interesting because their data from Tesla and data from X is going into to train this model, which makes the model two sources that are talking about it. It makes this model extremely powerful and it makes the model learn extremely fast. Now, that since Elon Musk is keeping all his companies so connected to each other, I think Neuralink will not be spared from this. So that means that to this AI, it will go two ways, just as you said. I think that XAI will find its way into Neuralink. And also, I think data from Neuralink will go to XAI. So this answers both of your points, or is it a return on both of your points? First of all, I think that AI will definitely be a part of it because AI will understand probably specific signals of the brain better and faster because it has this learning data, which means that in the end it will, predict what a user will want to do. And then on the other hand, I think this data then can be trained also to understand how, emotions are connected to posts or to specific feelings. I don't know how this translates into a product. I can see that probably your Tesla will tell you something like, you're too mad to drive. You should be calm down. You know what? Calm down, come back and we'll talk. Something like that. The Model Y will tell you. I don't know. But, but seriously, I think that this is the way AI will work. And for that, I think Elon Musk is the best in doing so because he deliberately keeps all of his companies together. I mean, not only because he's CEO of all these companies, but also because this is how he operates. So I think that AI and this thing will be intertwined without, I don't know, without question.
Yeah, I'm
do
still
you think?
waiting for the day. I'm still waiting for the day when we learn that Elon Musk is in reality like a Bond villain, like this genius who has like his own colony already on Mars and building moon lasers to destroy his enemies and implanting brain chips into all of us to control humanity or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who knows?
But I think there will be a line where we are not only talking about medical applications of these microchips, but actually modifying human nature. Because the
Right.
moment that we give control to our brain, like right access to our brains, this will be a line where I could imagine that humanity is going to fight against. Because the moment the machine is starting to control your mood, for example, or your behavior or your knowledge, it opens up a completely new world of misuse.
Yeah.
And this is right now, of course, completely hypothetical and completely like an ethical discussion. But we know how fast this development is going. And right now I'm thinking about I have depression. And so I'm starting like a routine, a program that cures my depression and makes me happy. Sounds great, right? But am I still myself if I can just like run an application and suddenly I'm happy? Am I then still myself, or is the computer then doing whatever my consciousness want? Or if I want to forget something, right? Right now it's really hard to delete something from my brain without like destroying my brain. But it might be in the future that I can just override bad memories. But then again, would it be possible for someone to misuse this by intentionally modify my
Sure.
memories, right? To
Yeah.
to hide something or to manipulate me into doing something. I mean, like
Can
it
I
sounds
get your memories? Can you give me your memories?
right. Or you download my memories,
Right.
for example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And of course,
you could use
yeah.
memories in court. I didn't say that. Well, let's look it up.
Right.
I think we have proof.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And for
No.
everyone who's
This
listening right now,
witness downloaded its. We have the witness download, or we have the victims. Oh my God, it's a murder crime. We have the
Right,
victims'
right.
memories on there. Okay, we're at
Exactly.
altered carbon now. This is exactly the
yeah.
show. This is literally the show.
just to avoid any misunderstandings, for everyone who's watching or listening to us right now, this is speculation, right? This is not like the
All of
feature
it.
list of
They
Neuralink.
didn't announce all of it. No. This is just a wish list. Yeah, that's the nerd Santa wish list.
No, but seriously, I mean, it sounds absolutely like a science fiction movie script, but we are so close to actually seeing these things. And even though I'm saying it is science fiction and it's not real, but there are for years these studies where we already learned how to manipulate the brain with magnetic fields and these things. And maybe you know these experiments where they have cockroaches and they put a device onto the cockroach and they are able to control the movement of the cockroach. They can walk left and right and these things by
You could also
external
do that with your
modification.
brain. You could also do
sorry?
that with you also could do that with a Neuralink chip. Imagine
Yeah, I
this
mean-
chip is controlling these things because it is
Yeah.
connected to your phone, obviously.
But this is what I'm saying. For human beings, it's speculation and science fiction
All of
right
it.
now.
Yeah.
But the reality is that it is absolutely possible to do that. And we already have seen this with like insects or these small experiments. And for human beings, it's not there yet. But it is not so far away that we should not talk about this. Yeah.
I think the key here again is AI. I think that for years there have been those studies. 100%. I think the big game changer here is, yes, we have this technology now, but this is just one upgrade from a previous version or two upgrades from the Swiss company, whatever. I think the huge key here is that now we have a not conscious, but definitely not intelligent in a way we're intelligent, but we definitely have this very new way of training, understanding, and developing data. And I think this will increase and increase and increase the speed And this is why I'm thinking that this is the very first time, I would agree, this is the very first time now that we actually can talk about that we're going to see this very soon, because this will increase in speed so much, and double and triple and quadruple, whatever, until we're there. And then beyond, because there's always new data. There's always more data.
Yeah. And one thing where I am very, very sure that we are going to see this is voluntary cyborgs. I just came up with this name, voluntary cyborgs, but I saw when Tesla started producing these smart controls for their cars, where you can boot the car and remote control your car and everything. And I saw a YouTube video of a woman who was implementing the Tesla chip into her hand so that she can use her hand to unlock the car. It was, of course, not her hand that was unlocking the car, but she had the microchip in her hand. So she was, and it was not a doctor doing that. It was I don't know, someone who's giving you piercings, putting this thing under her skin. And this was something like becoming a cyborg. You are implanting voluntarily technology into your body for fun or for voluntary purposes that are not medical, right? And so, of course, right now I'm not talking about these medical use cases for I want to walk again because I lost functionality of my legs. But people who might intentionally want to alter the brain, for example, either becoming more smarter,
having more information at your fingertip, sure,
like these things, or literally for I am depressive and I do not want to be myself again. I want to modify my brain so that I can live a happy whatever life without depression, always being happy, can just control my hormones or these things. And I can totally imagine that there will be a community of people, like a religion, people who believe that the human-machine hybrids are more happy, are the better humans, and intentionally throwing themselves into there, even though we all know it is a dangerous field and ethically very, very in a gray area, right? But we know how humans are. There will be those humans who will embrace this immediately, no matter the risks.
I also think that we have too many examples for not seeing this. I mean, there are those really crazy cyberpunk examples. I don't know, when you're playing a computer game and you have those people who are enhanced in strength and these kind of things. This is one thing, but I think also much easier things, just like you said, controlling your hormones, which is actually in the end a biochemical reaction. So the right impulses in your brain probably will trigger more dopamine or whatever, and or less. I don't know, whatever you want, right? So I think that also Apple TV Plus, look at Severance, look at the show Severance. Yeah. I think the very clear example for what you could do. So people who hate their job, or people who just are doing very simple jobs, jobs that are maybe probably not that exciting, but have to be done, very repetitive jobs that you can't automate. For example, these kind of things, you could totally play with your brain to do so. So I think, So the last question I have for you, Tarek, is basically, let's come back to ethics for one moment.
Yeah.
And sure, animal tests and these kind of things difficult, but ethically altering such an important piece of your body. I mean, you're wearing glasses. There are a lot of people out there who probably lost a leg or an arm, so much more traumatic than have to wear glasses, but still in the end they probably have some kind of an replacement leg, like titanium leg or something like that. These are on the outside. These are, let's call them small to medium additions to a malfunctioning of your body. So now here, right now, we're talking about malfunctioning things like your spine is not working as it's supposed to be. In that there, I could see the same argument that you're changing malfunctions. But when we talk about improvements, is this ethical or not?
Yeah, it's a gray area. It's so hard to say because where do you draw the line? I want to repair the functionality of my legs. That's not unethical. Even though a hardliner could argue that
Sure.
it's like your God-given state of body, and so it's not our right to modify your brain so that you can use your legs again or something. But you can use this argument for any kind of medicine, any kind of drug, any kind of surgery, because all of that is manual change of your body for the better, of course.
Yeah,
And
but
I think,
improving back to normal. You're not going over the 100%. If a
Yeah.
human being that is but I think this is the way, like, dividing it. You're perfectly healthy. You're average. So this is 100%. And when you're, for example, having, I don't know, you're short-sighted and therefore you're wearing glasses to, correct this. You're just correcting back to 100%.
yeah,
I think the gray area starts with 101.
but even this is also already like an argument that you hear people are
Sure.
saying, because
Yeah, Mormons.
I'm losing my hair and I don't have 100% vision. Are those defects or is this natural, right? And if I then modify my body with gene therapy or brain implants so that I get more hair on my head, or we define for the future, we can surgically implant microchips into our eyes to increase sight to 150%, or the other field of science, gene therapy, we eradicate genetic defects, and
Yeah.
we make sure that the new normal is 150% sight. Is this already like an illegal or unethical modification, or is this then the new normal? And with these brain implants, it will be the same thing. If we see we can eradicate cancer by, I don't know, having this brain implant, forcing the brain to emit some hormones that are killing cancer cells or something, this would be unnatural. But even it would be an improvement, right? So would this be creating like the normal state of not having cancer, or would this be an unethical modification on an infant's body, because every infant is getting this microchip into their brain? We, as a child, we get, as children, we get vaccines, right?
Vaccinations.
We get vaccines, right?
Yeah, we're being vaccinated.
Children,
Sure. Yeah.
we get vaccinated, right? This is a modification of our body as children. We don't have we don't get the consent of the children, but it is to prevent diseases, right? And so it is a good thing. And so for the future, in 100 years from now, it might happen that every child gets this brain implant, because the brain implant can
Against-
save the child from certain diseases, or improve like their life. I don't know, with the brain implant, maybe you get like you become 200 years old or something.
And here we're entering, I think, cyberpunk again, because obviously vaccinations that a chip in your brain can prevent can be a lot of things physically, like, I don't know, cancer probably, I don't know, something like that, or dementia, maybe that also the thing. But also these kind of diseases can also be cognitive in a way that maybe, I don't know, suddenly you start to, I don't know, you prevent racism by those chips. No, but I mean, think about it. If you could, I don't know, identify a specific stream, electric stream in your brain that is always being sent when you have some kind of weird, I don't know, whatever way you think about it. It doesn't have to be racism, it can be something else. I mean, if you identify that and you block this, so you just can't think that, then obviously we're entering cyberpunk danger, because who knows what's happening next. But this is all speculation.
Yeah. Now we are entering like a complete hypothetical discussion and ethical
Entirely.
discussion.
Right.
Right. And this is, yeah, amazing. I would love to keep discussing this. But also, I want to hear from all of our listeners and watchers what they are thinking about this, because I'm sure there are 100 different opinions about this, the risks and the chances that we have with this new technology, even though it is still in version 1. Please let us know in the comments, and I would love to keep this discussion going there and to see what you are thinking. And so for now, we are celebrating, kind of, that Neuralink is
We're
now
excited. Yeah.
in this club of actual human trials. And we see what crazy things come next from Elon Musk. So, thanks for listening to Yay Space. If this was actually valuable for you, you should subscribe to us so that you never miss an episode, because we bring out a lot of crazy stories during the week. Until next time, stay awesome.